Hey guys, this is a quick overview of the Tiko software. Per the message on Kickstarter, there was a firmware update for the printer. So I went ahead and did that, and it appears to have taken, because I can upload, or I can load in Gcode files without seeing an error message. So this is the firmware version that I'm currently on right now. These options right here, I figured out that you can't change the IP address of the Tiko. So my network's on a 192.168.0.x network, and the Tiko is statically configured for 192.168.1.1. So it appears that they set it so that you can only connect to the Tiko directly through the hotspot. So you will need to put in your Wi-Fi settings, and to do that you go through settings. You can rename it whoops. And then so you can name it whatever you want. You can already have my Wi-Fi in here. And then you can choose the language. You'll just have to click on whichever one you want because there's no highlighting. And then to get out of this screen, you can click up here, and then you'll want to click use offline. And then you have a couple options to add a model. You can drag and drop. You can add a model here, or you can add an object up here. And currently I'm working on just a generic external spool stand. I'll put a link in the description that I wanted to print using the Tiko so that I could use larger rolls of filament. I'm not sure how well it's going to do, so then you just double click your file. Then you have a few options. You can grab this center thing and enlarge it. When you do that, you do get a message that it's too large, and then you can rotate and it automatically centers. There's no panning. Your middle mouse will, if you depress it, will move in and out, and then your left mouse button will move it around, and then the right doesn't actually do anything. So we'll go ahead and remove that, then print this, and then if you grab over here you can actually set it to wherever you want. You have options. LED brightness is kind of off because right now I'm actually at 100% on the Tiko. I'll start video kind of showing the different brightness levels. Brightness, if we can turn it all the way off. 10% doesn't actually do anything. 20, it doesn't really come on until about 30 is when we start to see it go on. And then that's 50, 60, 70, 80. So between 80 and 90 there's a slight change, but between 90 and 100 there's not any changes at all. Here are your print settings, pretty basic. This update on the support structure, it was doing a raft, and trying to print directly without the raft wasn't working all that great. You know, these settings are pretty generic for 3D printers, but this update is supposed to have better bed adhesion, even though I think it was probably a little too, I guess, adhered. So if you want to cancel out all this, you just click here and then it takes you back to this screen. So you just click the Tiko logo, and then to print, you click the print button. It slices. The slicer is actually a little bit faster. I'm going to run through the auto calibration, and then I'm going to kill the print. I tried it on the old firmware and it didn't work. It just didn't work. It was probably, I don't know, 0.5 millimeter from the build plate, which was way too tall. So I'm going to go ahead and start this. And the way that it auto calibrates is that it jams the nozzle into the bed. And since the Tiko is fully enclosed, it's kind of a pain to get that little extra bit of filament off. It looks like they lightened it up as well. It's not. In the previous version, you could hear the build plate deform, but in this version it actually seems like it's doing a little bit better, so it might actually work. I'll let the print start and then we'll see. Up until now I've been manually setting the height. So this raises the z-axis and then this lowers it, and I think it's moving maybe a thousandth of a millimeter on each click. At least the old version was. And then once you have it, so basically the nozzle needs to sit directly on or lightly touch the print surface. And then you click down and it'll move to the next point, and then you just kind of rinse and repeat. And then on the final one, you press done, it'll home. And that's kind of new, because before it wouldn't flicker like that. So it's something recent with this firmware. It actually seems like it's moving a little bit too fast on the first layer anyways. And then I've been getting the excess filament right when it starts burning. It's almost like it's extruding a small amount of filament before it touches the build plate. But if I were to tilt the printer right now, of course it would run the print. But so I have the Gcode right here, and I don't do a whole lot of Gcode by hand, but you can see here, it's pretty basic. For some reason I thought this was the hot end temperature, even though it's set at 210 in the web UI. It'd be 230 right here. I have to look and make sure, because I could totally be wrong about that. But other than that, I mean, it's pretty standard feeds and speeds. And this is for the same part that I'm printing right now, but it was prior to the firmware update. But this could be a good base to get the settings for like simplify or slicer or something other than whatever Tiko slicer is. I'll dig this out of here, and then I'll post a link on probably Google Drive. Oh, here it is. So maybe that's preheat temperature, because this is the 210 right here that I had it set to. But this should be a good base for anybody that wants to take a stab at creating a profile. But yeah, I'll link this to probably Google Drive or OneDrive or something. And that's about it for this video. And it kind of does this strangeness down here where it disconnects you. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, guys.